Chapter 28. Kelsey. Victor and I settle into an uneventful daily routine. Our days are spent learning more about one another's likes and dislikes, hopes and fears. For instance, I didn't know he had a strong aversion to being alone. It's not as crippling as my brother's loathing, but it does exist. I have to wonder if it's a male supernatural thing. We discuss the peculiarities associated with our different species, like Lilin enjoy restorative sleep, while vampires have no need for it. Vampires don't eat food, and some can't tolerate alcohol. Personally, I don't know any Lilin who would turn down a good meal with an after-dinner drink. We spend our nights continuing my practice of building and maintaining shields around my thoughts. I've impressed myself with how strong a barrier I can construct. Even Victor is surprised when he discovers he can't break through it. At no time does Victor force me to do anything I'm not ready for. We have separate rooms, and he gives me plenty of privacy when I need it. If he were human, I'd say he was the perfect gentleman. He may never understand how helpful that is to me under these strange circumstances. But there is one thing Victor can't help me with no matter how hard he tries. Over the week, my need for essence becomes overwhelming. I'm sure he's felt it, but he hasn't mentioned it. Fortunately, the perfect opportunity presents itself one morning when I awaken to an empty house. I take advantage of Victor's absence and contact Cash. I'm getting desperate, I tell him. I don't care who you bring, just get here. On it, Kels. Just text me an address. I tap out the location of Victor's house and prepare to wait. 30 minutes later, I'm pacing the floor. Cash needs to get here before Victor returns. The last thing I need is a fistfight between them. A knock on the door startles me. What took you so long? I ask as soon as I open the door. Calm down, Kels. I had to pick up Delia. A cute, curvy brunette stands behind him. Cornflower blue eyes, fringed with long eyelashes, brighten when he sees me. Hey, don't blame Cash. I got in late last night. Took me a minute to get myself together. I roll my eyes. Just get in here. What's the rush, Kels? Cash closes the door behind them. I want to get this done before Victor gets back. He narrows his eyes. We need to talk. After. I'm happy that he brought a girl. I'm not happy that he brought a girl, but she'll have to do. I lead her over to the sofa. How do we do this? She asks as she takes a seat. Pretend it's me, babe, he instructs. No big deal. Babe? Yeah, we definitely need to talk. I lean toward her and let my lips brush hers. This is definitely unexplored territory for me. Cash has been pressing me, unsuccessfully, to try being fluid. He figured it would help my control issues. I seriously doubt there's any veracity in his theory, but right now I'm desperate. I press my lips firmly to her soft, minty mouth, and a lick of electricity courses through my veins. Back off, Kelsey. Victor? I'm tempted to pull away from Delia. Keep going. I'm behind your brother. I sense your energy is very low. You can feel it? I feel everything you feel. Let me guide you through this. I try not to let Victor's presence distract me. Stay in the moment. I'm enjoying myself when his voice enters my head again. The fog just lifted from your mind. You're reaching your limit. Back off now. But now, Kelsey, any longer and you'll drain her. Reluctantly, I drag my lips from Delia's. She stares at me and her fingers go to her mouth. Wow. I must say that was some kiss. Cash rubs his brow. You controlled it. Don't tell him the truth. Let him believe you're in control. I plaster on a smile. I guess I'm finally figuring it out. Told you it would happen. He grins like the proverbial Cheshire cat. I think a girl was the answer. Should have started with one. Good job, love. He's happy and you're renewed. Cash, I really need to go, Delia says. I've got to be at work in a few hours. Yeah, in a minute. I need to talk to my sister. Victor clears his throat. Cash jumps and whirls around. He stammers. Where the hell did you come from? Sorry, I guess you didn't hear me come in. Maybe you were too busy watching. Why don't I walk your friend out? Give you some time alone with Kelsey. Delia looks over at Cash. He nods and tells her, Go on, D. I'll be out in a minute. He waits for Victor and Delia to leave the house before speaking. Cash rubs the back of his neck. I spoke to Aunt Lil. Is it true? Did that asshole turn you? Yes, I mutter. My brother clenches his fist. That won't solve the problem. I'm learning to accept the fact. His eyes widen. You're okay with this? I don't see that I have much of a choice. I scrape a hand through my hair. What's with you and the girl? Nothing. She's just a friend. Cash sits beside me. Why didn't you want the vamp to know you called me? I point at his still clenched fist. I wanted to avoid a confrontation. Understood. Cash relaxes his hand. But you're living with him. I don't like it, Kels. He's behaving himself. Besides, I have my own room. You don't need to worry. Have you spoken to Mom? Yeah, she's back home. Did Ajax let her go? I'm shocked. I thought he didn't forgive anyone, ever. A few days ago. I don't know what your boyfriend said during their meeting, but the Ajax changed his mind soon after. How is she? She's tired, but she'll recover. Honestly, I don't think she minds him much. Ew! I say, Cash, this is our mom you're talking about. I know, but she doesn't complain about him. I think it's more of an inconvenience to her. Servicing him means she's not taking care of her suitors. He side glances at me. You should come home, Kels. Mom's worried about you. After our council meeting. When is it? Tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Will you be there? Do you want me there? It would be nice knowing someone's in my corner. The corners of his lips lift and he bumps my shoulder. Who said I was on your side? I poke him in the ribs. Thanks for your help. I can't do this without you. He wraps me up in an embrace. I could never turn my back on you. No matter what, little sister, I'm here. Remember, we're family. The door opens and Victor walks in. Your friend is waiting for you. I better go. Delia works nights and she needs to get some sleep before her shift. I tilt my head. Where did you meet her? The Wild Stallion. She's a dancer. I facepalm. I'd like to think going to a strip joint is beneath my brother, but that would be wishful thinking. After all, he is an incubus who hangs out with some seriously depraved demons. You set me up with a stripper? Real smooth, Cash. She's a good kid. When I met her, she was just a waitress at the club. Delia's working to pay for school. Every time we hook up, I put money in her account. Cash, that's wrong. It's not what you think. I set up a fund for her. She won't know it exists until she enrolls. Delia says she should have enough money for a semester by this time next year. I'm gifting her with an anonymous scholarship. She'll have enough to finish her education without ever having to work at the Wild Stallion again. Wow. My brother is capable of doing something nice for someone else. He kisses my forehead. See you tomorrow. Victor and Cash exchange a look before my brother leaves the house. Kelsey, have you forgotten that I feel everything you do? Victor says from behind me. No, I face him, but I didn't want you and Cash to get into a fight. I am capable of controlling my temper. I think back to the argument they had the day I was turned. Yeah, right. It's the morning of our meeting with Council. I'm worn out with tossing and turning all night. I don't know which was worse, my frantic thoughts or listening to Victor's frenetic activity. If he wasn't wearing a groove in the living room floor, he was banging out tunes on the piano, an odd mix of original compositions and classical sonatas. Thankfully, he kept his shield firmly in place. I understand his nervousness. It mirrors my own. If the Najax had disapproved of our relationship, this meeting with Council would not be happening. Our bond would have been severed, and my family would be mourning my loss. Now our fate lies with Council, and they could still decide against us. Victor parks his car beside the Temptation Club. He cuts the motor and faces me. Are you ready for this? I tuck a strand of hair behind my ear. What choice do I have? I'd be lying if I said I'm not afraid. Just speak from your heart, and we'll be fine. I glance over at him. He's still keeping me out of his head. A flash of color catches my eye, and I notice Beaumont leaning against the building. What does he want? Victor looks over his shoulder. Guess we better find out. The ancient pushes himself off the wall as we approach him. Beaumont, what brings you here? Victor questions. I thought this meeting was private. It is, he replies. I wanted to speak with Kelsey before you went inside. I fold my arms over my chest. I think you said all that was necessary when you drove me home the other day. He places a hand over his chest. I do apologize for upsetting you, but I felt those things needed to be said. Give me a few minutes of your time. It's all I'm asking for. I scowl and face Victor. What do you think? Let him speak. It might be beneficial. He kisses my cheek. I'll meet you inside. After Victor goes into the building, Beaumont speaks. I simply want to prepare you for their questions. Fine, speak. Not here. Come with me. I follow the ancient away from the club. We stop in an alley. Broken glass crunches beneath our feet. A stray cat forages through the rotting garbage spilling from a rusty dumpster. I cover my nose with my hand. A bitter taste settles in the back of my throat. We need to hurry this talk up or I'm going to puke. What do you want with me? He leans close. The key to getting your point across with counsel is to let them think they're right. What? You need them to believe you're remorseful for your actions. Let them think you coerced Victor to bite you. Why would I do a dumb thing like that? I snap. Because the leaders are self-righteous bastards who believe they're the only ones who know right from wrong. They're expecting you to come in fighting. Don't do it. You have to be cunning. And how do I do that? Be contrite. Keep the barrier locked tight around your thoughts. Then, when they least expect it, let them know how you really feel. Tell them the truth. Avoid lying. They'll see through it. I bite at my lower lip. This will get them to approve of us? As long as your tone of voice never changes, they'll be lulled into believing you. It's a way to compel them. Naturally, there are no guarantees. Luke will be the only one not compelled. Hopefully, he'll sense your sincerity and override any decision they make against you. I tip my head to the side, weighing his words. Why are you telling me this? I thought you didn't like me. I never said I didn't like you, Miss Kelsey. He grins. I simply felt you were wrong for Victor. Isn't that the same thing? I point out. Not hardly. Beaumont props an arm on the dumpster. You're a sweet female who's a bit naive for my taste, but I've seen how Victor is around you. His feelings are genuine. I believe yours are as well. You won't hurt him. What matters most is you won't let anyone else hurt him either. Thank you. You're welcome. He jerks his head toward the club. Good luck in there. I think it's going to take more than luck. I'm glad Beaumont is on our side. May the fates be as well.